So this episode, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to do something a little bit more personal. I'm going to share an image, but not an image like you normally see. I'm going to share an image that I took that's tattooed on my arm right here. Recently got this tattoo here. Probably shouldn't be tapping it because it's still healing. I got a tattoo of an image that is very meaningful to me. I had a friend do a watercolor version of one of my photographs, and I got it tattooed on my arm. And I figured, why not share it? Because it's photo related, I'm going to share it here. See how it goes. First things first, as always, don't forget to check out my online store at justinmott.com, where I've got presets starting at $4.99. That will not make you a better photographer, but they will add some pop to your images. They also help contribute to my channel. I've also got online prints that ship to your door for as low as $99 with free shipping worldwide. And for those of you interested in improving your photography, I've got my online one-on-one session starting as low as $99 for a 1-hour session with me, where we can talk about your photography, improve your skills, go through your portfolio. It is open to all levels of photographers and for all genres of photographers. So check all that out at justinmott.com. So it probably sounds a little bit douchey of me to talk about my tattoos. Normally I don't like to have a big discussion about my tattoos, and I just find it weird when people just like talk about them really like unsolicited. But I guess this is unsolicited because no one really asked me, so I'm a douchebag now. I'm officially a douchebag. But this one's quite meaningful to me. It's photo related, so I thought it would be fun to kind of share the process here and then reveal the tattoo to you guys. I've been interested in tattoos for a long time, probably in my mid to early 30s, and now I'm in my early 40s, or approaching my mid 40s. I'm 43. But I never got a tattoo in my 30s because I was filming my TV show. I was the host of a TV show called Photo Face Off. It was on History Channel Asia, and it was sponsored by Canon. And Canon is a Japanese company, and the Japanese have a different outlook on tattoos. Let's just say that. It wasn't communicated to me directly from Canon not to get a tattoo, but there are other channels where it was communicated. So, I put it off. The TV show was a big part of my life back then. And I did notice that they, anytime we had a guest on the TV show that had tattoos, they covered it up with makeups. I knew the Japanese, or at least the Japanese business culture outlook on tattoos, was not very forgiving. So I waited a long time. I did 5 years of my TV show, and then once the show ended, I went kind of nuts. And I've got a lot of tattoos now on my arms, and I have plans for many, many more, hopefully. So my thoughts on tattoos are probably not different than most people out there. They're obviously very personal. They all have meaning, but I tend to do them for me, not for like artwork for you. They're usually to like give me a reminder about something, or remember a nice part of my life, or something I'm nostalgic for, or a reminder of just how I want to live my life and things like that. I won't bore you and go through all my tattoos and all their different meanings, but this one in particular was quite meaningful to me because I always wanted to like get a tattoo of one of my photographs, but I didn't want to do it in like a narcissistic way. Like there was nothing like, oh, I'm so proud of this picture I took. I was such an awesome photographer when I took that, or I'm such an awesome photographer because I took that and wanted that. I just wanted something that really related to photography because it's such a big part of my life. I mean, photography is kind of everything to me. It's who I am. Even when I'm not working, my hobby is photography. So it's a very, very important aspect of my life. And I always wanted something to sort of resemble that as I started to build these tattoos. So it was evident that I had to get it, but I couldn't really figure out how I wanted to do it. I didn't want just like a recreation of one of my photos, like a trace of it. So I thought about it for a long time, had many years go by, got my other tattoos, and just kind of always left this part of my shoulder as a spot that I was gonna like get this picture. I didn't know what it was gonna be. And then a few years back when I made a big, big pivot of my career towards personal projects again, and I really made a big pivot towards wildlife photojournalism with my personal project, Kindred Guardians. That was a huge moment in my life, and I'll never forget that emotional moment of starting the project, of actually, yes, it was one thing to start the project, to announce the project, to start to plan the project, but the first time that I shot for the project was in central Kenya, shooting the northern white rhinos, which you guys have heard me talk quite a bit about. But it's such a powerful moment for so many reasons. The first time I ever photographed anything rhino related was a severed rhino horn when I was undercover photographing a story about the illegal wildlife trade, photographing the mafia here in Southeast Asia. Then several years later, going to central Kenya to see the last 2 northern white rhinos in the world. That was quite a powerful moment for me, to be up close and personal with them, to be photographing them, to spend several weeks documenting them and the caretakers and the protectors. It was a huge moment for me. Again, not just because of the pivot of my career, but also just a moment because I do have such a love for animals. I have such a love for wildlife, and just to make that connection from doing those assignments, doing that assignment for Time Magazine and then for the UN on the illegal wildlife trade, and then seeing the result of that trade there, with only 2 northern white rhinos left. it's just quite impactful for me. So I knew probably I was going to do something related to that, something related to the northern white rhinos. As I did a bunch more stories, the rhino story was something I always kept coming back to. I love all my other stories. I love the project as a whole, but the rhino project itself really is something I went back again a second time, and I hope to go back a third time to do some more work on that story. It's just one of those stories that has really stayed with me, and I just have this drive to keep going back. So I have one of the shots of Najin, a very close-up shot, this image here of the rain hitting her eyes. Just as the sun was setting, the clouds came out, the rain poured, and I stayed out there and I got these shots of Najin, and they kind of, the raindrops on her wrinkled eyes resembled tears and kind of symbolized the sad plight of the northern white rhino and the plight of a lot of wildlife in general. So I always thought about like how to do this picture, like how to get it on my body somehow. Again, that moment, that story, just that, so many factors. I was like, okay, I have to get this artwork. I didn't want a tattoo artist to just basically do a tracing of this image. So I have a close friend of mine who we ended up climbing Mount Kilimanjaro with, a fellow photographer, very, very talented photographer. His name is Aaron Joel Santos. I'll put a link to his work in the description box. Check out his work. He's an amazing photographer and a very, very dear friend. And he was telling me he was really getting, on the trip up Kilimanjaro, he was telling me he was really getting into sketching, and he was drawing a lot. And he was doing a lot of work in his notebook. And when you travel a lot as a photographer, he had a lot of time to sort of draw. And rather than being on his phone, he's not like really active on social media that much. Instead, when he was traveling and going to places, he was sketching. And I really admired that. I really liked his drawings and his paintings. And I just thought, wow, this is excellent. He's doing really good work. He's like a true artist, not just in his photography, but all around. And I'm not, I think I'm an artist in my photography, but that's where it ends. That's where my artistic skills end. So I admired that, I respected it. And we climbed the mountain together. That was an amazing experience for any of you out there that have a chance to climb Mount Kilimanjaro. It was an amazing experience. It's not technically difficult, but just mentally difficult. But after the trip, I remember talking to Aaron a little bit, and I had the idea of like, hey, it would be really cool if he could draw that or do a watercolor painting of that picture that I had. So I sent him it, back and forth. I kind of pushed him, I nudged him a bit. I bothered him like I'd bother someone I want to try to photograph. And eventually, after a few months, he did it, and I really love the results. Here it is. I'll show you now. But it was just so cool to me. It was so like epic. I just liked the way they did it. All the lines, all the details. It was just beautiful. It was really, really beautiful to me. And I was like, oh, that's it. I went with a bunch of different before I actually settled on Aaron doing it. I had a tattoo artist do it, but I didn't really like the sketch that they did. I had another friend draw it, but it was too sort of real and. I don't know, Aaron, once I saw his drawings, I kind of knew I wanted him to do it. It was just a matter of getting him to do it, and he was awesome. He was just so generous with his time and doing this for me. So here's the watercolor here. Once I saw this, I was really, really happy with it. I'm like, this is fantastic. And then for me, I made another little goal as well. I was like, well, I'm not going to get this tattoo. He did it a long time ago, and then I'm like, I'm not going to get this tattoo until I reach a certain weight. Because I'm still not skinny by any means, but I was pretty fat. I was up to about 108 kilos, and now I'm at about 89 kilos. So I told myself that I won't get the tattoo till I got under 100. And with the pandemic and everything, and really getting into cycling, really working hard, I actually got under 90, and the next goal for me is to get to low 80s. So rather than doing the tattoo at under 100 kilos, I did it at under 90 kilos. So many layers to this tattoo, so many things that really came together for this to work. So anyway, it was very, very meaningful to me, and that moment was very impactful. The picture was very impactful, just to have a friend that you really care about actually do the watercolor painting, and then related to a great experience in my life of climbing Kilimanjaro as well. So then finally we, after a bunch of times, got to my weight, but we went into lockdown, things happened, I kept putting it off. But finally, a couple days ago, I went to a local tattoo artist I hear. A lot of my other tattoos I get done to this guy in Singapore, who's also great, but I found a tattoo artist here in Hanoi I really, really like. If you get a chance, if you're in Hanoi or if you're in Vietnam and you want to get a tattoo, Silverant Tattoo, they did an excellent job, very, very patient with me, all the back and forth, making sure I got it exactly how I wanted. The tattoo artist there was named Dino. He just did such a great job. It was about 4.5 hours sitting, which wasn't bad, didn't hurt at all. I have a pretty good threshold for tattoos, but it's also I'm pretty fatty in the shoulder, so it didn't hurt much at all. And on top of that, my mother, I remember showing my mother the idea, and I could tell she was hesitant. My mom doesn't like tattoos in general, but she's a very easygoing kind of person, so she's kind of hinting are you sure you want to get it? But she was just worried that it wouldn't translate well, and it was funny. So when I got this tattoo, I made a little impulsive tattoo purchase while I was there. I also got the word mother tattooed on my arm, just because I thought it would be kind of funny, because the way that she was trying to talk me out of it, I thought it'd be kind of cute, or just at least funny to get a little tattoo. Well, I love my mother so much. She's such a wonderful woman. So, and she's always encouraging, but with the tattoo, she's a little bit nervous. She doesn't like it. She hasn't liked it at all, but she's like nice about the way she doesn't like us. Yeah, it was a great experience, and I just wanted to share with you guys. I'll show you the tattoo now so you can have a look here. Take this off. The audio might not be great, but I'm gonna do this. I don't know if you can quite see it well here. I'll get a close-up shot. I'll show you some pictures here now of it, just so you can get a closer look. And again, I got my mother, I got the word mother tattooed here, and here it's still peeling here. I took off the bandage yesterday. But that's Najin, one of the last 2 northern white rhinos left in the world. Very, very happy with the tattoo itself. Very happy with, you know, just all the meaning to it. And I just want to share it with you guys as we get closer, so I thought it would be kind of fun to share it with you guys. So that's it for this episode, something a little bit different. If you enjoyed it, let me know. If you didn't, keep it to yourself. Or, you know, because just you not telling me will make me not do it. But if you tell me, I'll do more like this. Thank you guys for tuning in. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And if you get tattoos and stories that you want to share with me, do so in the comment section. I read everything, guys, so I love hearing your stories. I love getting to know you guys. Thank you guys again. Have a wonderful day.